If Ms. Hilton is not going to start, we could start. Good morning, Judge Morrow.
Good morning, Mr. Francois. How are you today?
Pretty good, and yourself?
I cannot complain. Where are we going to start today?
I was trying to let Ms. Milton go first, but if she doesn't show up, I'll. She had wanted to go first. But I guess we'll get started. We can start with Mr. Cosby. He's positions 4 through 7. Come on, Mr. Cosby. Have a seat on the green chair.
Good morning, Mr. Douglas.
Good morning, Your Honor.
What are we doing with Mr. Cosby this morning?
Yes, Your Honor. For positions 4 and 5, we'll be entering a plea of not guilty and waiving arraignment.
Okay.
For position 6 and 7, we would request to have the FTA set aside.
And what's the reason for the request to set aside?
Your Honor, both of this position, the case number ending in 68D is a case from 2018. The case number ending in 65D is a case from 2020. In the years since then, Mr. Cosby has shown up to all of his court dates. It looks like he failed to appear for a court date on March 27th and April 10th. After speaking to Mr. Cosby, he verified his address, and he tells me that he has received court notices for most of the time, except these recent except for the 2 hearings on March 27th and April 10th. He believes it was because those court dates were actually reset because officers were unable to show up at the time. And for whatever reason, the court did not send those reset notices to him. So he has been showing up, he has been doing what he's asked for. And he's clear that in the future, he needs to not just rely on the mail, but check in every couple of weeks in order to make sure that he's not missing any future court dates.
Walker, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Well, obviously, the state has a very different position. Position 4 happened in 2018. He did FTA July 8th, 2019. While he was in FTA status, he did pick up the second DUI, which is position 5. I believe that was in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. And then after he got picked up on the second DUI, he FTA'd on both of the cases on August the 8th of 2022. And then on position 5, additionally, he FTA'd yet again on April 10th of this year. So he's FTA'd twice on each of these cases, most recently April the 10th of this year. And in total, it's been 3 different court dates that he has missed. And to add insult to injury, while he was out on bench warrant status, he picked up the second DUI, which is position 5. Currently, he is in bench warrant status by warrants that were issued by Judge Edline, as this court routinely does. I would ask that it's sent back to Judge Edline to make a final determination on bond, as he has missed 3 court dates and does have 2 open DUIs in her courtroom.
That's my normal practice, Mr. Douglas. So I'll send it back to Judge Edline to make the determination since she issued the bonds. Good luck to you, Mr. Cosby.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's see, Officer Melton, are you ready this morning?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Next, we're going to have Ms. Burns, Amy Burns, position 2 and 3.
Milton, I need to speak with Ms. Burns on the phone. If I could have you call courtroom 2.
Okay. Come over there. 2391.
The 2391.
This is 92.
2391.
Okay.
Thank you.
Whatever you want. Another plea that's up.
Say it again.
Is there another plea that's up? Another number?
Ready to start your case?
Yeah.
Okay. Musa
All right, that's number 13, 14.
Judge, we'll be doing, tomorrow we'll do positions 13 and 14. Mr. Musa,
Okay,
That's a negotiated plea followed by number 14 would be a null pro.
yes, good morning, Mr. Moose. I'm Judge Eric Warren. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Can you hear me, Mr. Moose?
Louder. Yes.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court, be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Moose. You can put your hand down. Yes, good morning, Mr. Young.
Good morning, Your Honor. The offer for position 13 is 12 months to serve, 66 days. Credit for time served, 33 days with the balance suspended. And I will be submitting a no prize on the FTA for position 14 shortly.
Mr. McLean.
Those are the terms we expected to hear. He asked the court to accept his negotiated plea of guilty. Your Honor, he does stipulate to venue, identification, and factual basis.
Mr. Moose, it's my understanding that in case 19 CR 009191J, you wish to plead guilty to driving while your license was suspended or revoked and a tag light required. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Is that a yes or no?
What you said? Can you say that again?
You've been represented by Mr. McLean there. Are you happy with what he's done for you?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury,
Yes.
forced or coercion to plead guilty?
Yes.
No.
My question, did anybody force you to get into this guilty plea?
No.
I will accept the plea as negotiated, so good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, you're done. You're on your way.
position 17, Shanahan.
This is also going to be a negotiated plea.
17, yes, Your Honor, Mr. Shanahan.
Good morning, Mr. Shanahan. I'm Judge Eric Warner. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. You agree to have your case heard by video? Did you hear me, Mr. Shanahan?
Sir, no, sir.
Yes, we're doing this by video. Is that okay with you?
Did you hear his question?
No, I don't understand.
Do we need to turn this volume up?
Sorry, sir.
Let's try one more time and turn the volume up, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. We're conducting this hearing, Mr. Shanahan, by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. And I'm with Ms. Strong this morning, so you can submit all paperwork to her. Yes, Mr. Young.
Yes, Your Honor. The offer in this case is 12 months to serve 60 days. Credit for time served, 16 days. 8-week anger management, no further contact with the victim, and stay away from 300 Hospital Boulevard unless there's a medical emergency. And that's all from the state.
Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, we have calculated the number of extra days that would cost. He agrees with that. He asked the court to accept his negotiated plea of guilty while he stipulates the factual basis, venue, and identification.
Mr. Shanahan, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003251Y, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery. Is that correct?
Sir, yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Yes, sir. Sir, no, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Sir, yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Sir, yes, sir.
Is anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I was negotiating, Mr. Shanahan. When you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't have to report to probation, okay?
Sir, yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Sir, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a great day.
Good to meet you.
Are we ready at the South Annex now? Or ACDC?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what are we doing with Ms. Burns this morning?
Good morning, Your Honor. For position 2, we'll be entering a plea of not guilty waiving arraignment. For position 3, we'd ask the FTA to be set aside. I provided proof of incarceration to ASG Walker if he has it.
I have received it, and that is correct, Your Honor. The defendant was incarcerated in Clayton County at the time of her court date.
Okay, so there's no objection to the set aside?
There's no objection.
Okay, feel prepared to set aside. Mr. Douglas will get it signed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Milton, are you at ACDC?
I'm here.
Hi, Milton. Do you have the resource sheets to hand out to clients there?
Yes, sir, I do. I'll make sure that each of them get one.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Judge Morrow, I have a quick announcement for
Okay.
Ms. McLeod's case is the add-on, Mr. Martin. Does she need to speak to her client, Mr. Martin?
I do.
Okay, I'm gonna send him to the phone now.
Okay,
Ms. McLeod, check your chat when you get a chance.
okay.
Are you finished with position 2 and 3, Your Honor?
Yes, we're done with
Okay.
Who do we have next there? ACDC, is there someone else that we can take?
Yes, Your Honor, we can go to position 8 and 9, Shatara Goodman.
This is going to be a negotiated plea on all costs, Mr. Douglas.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Goodman. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. We agree to have your case heard by video. Hear me, Ms. Goodman?
Oh, yes.
Okay, Ms. Goodman, I'm talking to you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, we're doing this by video. Is that okay with you?
Oh, yes.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me?
I'm 53 years old.
I
Do you
can.
swear- do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Speak up, yes.
Put your hands on this, Goodman. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is going to be 12 months to serve, 38 days, credit for time served, 19 days. Balance probated with the conditions of a 2-week anger management course and stay away from the incident location, which is Wendy's located at 35 H.E. Holmes Street.
Those?
Yes, Your Honor. That's our understanding of the offer, and we'd ask this court to accept it and just stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of the plea. We would ask for Ms. Goodman to switch to non-reporting status upon completion of the anger management classes.
Mr. Walker, is there any reason I can't terminate the probation?
There's no objection, Your Honor.
I'm gonna allow it to terminate, Mr. Douglas.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Goodman, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 006634J, that you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and damage to property, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, 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 sir.
I've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Is anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Goodman. As soon as you complete the terms of the probation is going to terminate. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on probation, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day now.
Next, we have is position 10, Ms. Yolanda Isom.
And I will need to, my apologies, Your Honor, I will need to speak with Ms. Isom for position 10 on the phone. If she could call, can I use that phone, Norris?
Yes, and Your Honor, I'm Attorney Dotis. Position 12, Ms. Linda. Did you speak with her on yesterday?
Yes, I'm ready to go for Ms. Linder.
But do you remember what part she was in? Because, okay, we'll find her. I'll find her. Thank you.
Let's see, she was in 201.
Okay, I checked 5 Southwest, 201, and
I have Southeast.
oh, Southeast. All right, thank you.
Thank you. And if you could call courtroom 2 for Miss Isom at 2391.
I will. And when I finish with these 3, I will go and get Miss Linda for you.
Thank you.
Mr. Sis, put your mask on.
Dustin says.
Position, oh.
12-month probation.
Position 18 and 19, Sis.
That is ridiculous.
And this is a negotiated plea and an outcross.
This is, Your Honor, yes.
Good morning, Mr. Sisk. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Yes, sir. Thank you. Can you raise your right hand, please?
Put it over your ears.
Also, I have to walk to where radio knows because I had a scooter and I'm sure they got rid of that. So I have to walk.
Okay, Mr. Sisk, can you raise your right hand for me?
He didn't let me get my phone.
Swear on the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, sir. Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Mr. Young?
And hopefully they have easier to deal with.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation in this case is 12 months to serve 42 days, credit for time served 21 days, the balance suspended, a stay away from 1367 South Ponce de Leon Avenue in Atlanta. And that's all from the state.
Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, he's going to stipulate to venue as well as factual basis and identifications. He asked the court to accept his negotiated plea of guilty, and the terms are what we expected to hear.
Yes, Mr. Sisk, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 0073335Y, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass, is that correct? Yes, sir. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning? Yes, sir. You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? Yes, sir. You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury? Yeah. Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
Did you hear his question?
Yes, sir. Has anybody forced you to plead guilty? No. I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Mr. Sisk. Good luck to you, sir.
We do position number 20, Mr. Smith.
That's your client, Mr. McLean, Mr. Smith, position 20.
Your Honor, Cedric Smith, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's going to be an arraignment this morning.
That is correct.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Smith. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and reset it, right?
You want to know that you want to.
So right now, can
We're conducting this hearing by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you
Yes,
swear?
sir.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, you've been charged in case 23 CR 0032443E, for simple assault, family violence, simple battery, family violence, and simple trespass. Each one of these charges carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and to $1,000 fine. Do you, what do you form a reading of the accusation?
Okay, you're going in and out.
McClain,
Yes, Your Honor.
do you waive formal reading of the accusation?
We do, Your Honor.
How do you plead, Mr. Smith? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Okay, we'll record your not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. Good luck to yourself.
Thank you.
Mr. Martin, he's an add-on position 1. Have a seat.
Yes, Mr. Cloud, what are we doing with Mr. Martin this morning?
He is going to take a plea this morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Martin. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, and good morning, Judge Morrow.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 44 days. Credit for time served, 22 days. Balance probated with the conditions of a 12-week anger management course. No further contact with the victims, Ms. Christina Nichols and Jason Griggs, and to stay away from the incident and location. I can provide that address to the court momentarily.
Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor, that is our understanding of the terms of the plea. We would like to ask the court for my client to have a one-time police escort back to the location to collect some of his belongings, including a cell phone and a scooter that he has there and some clothing. And we would also like to ask the court if the court would consider suspending his probation after he has completed the 8 weeks of anger management.
If there's no objection from the state, I can have it at a non-report.
There's no objection, Your Honor.
Okay. And did you get that address for me, Mr. Walker?
I did, Your Honor. It's 365 Morning Dew Circle, Roswell, Georgia.
365, what was the
Morning Dew Circle?
Morning Dew, 2 words?
Yes, Circle in Roswell.
Okay. Mr. Martin, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003124D, you wish to plead guilty to 2 counts of battery family violence. Is that correct?
It,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yes,
Mr.
Your Honor.
It was only 1 count. It wasn't 2 and they weren't family. I knew them people 5 days.
Okay, let me make sure, Mr. Walker, my calendar says 2 counts.
Right, there's 2 victims, and that's why there's 2 no further contacts, Christina Nichols and Jason Griggs.
You need to speak with him again, Ms. McLeod, to make sure.
No, Your Honor.
So,
No,
Mr.
Your
Martin,
Honor, he already understands it's because there were 2 different people.
okay. So, Mr. Martin, do you wish to plead guilty to 2 counts of battery family violence?
Okay, well, Your Honor, what I don't understand is she kicked me in the stomach 3 times and put 2 staples in my head, but she gets away with it.
Hold on, Mr. Martin, again, let me just say you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. Let me just make sure, do you need to speak with Ms. McLeod so that she can clarify what you're pleading guilty to?
No, I'll plead guilty and get the hell out of here.
Okay, so it's my understanding that you do wish to plead guilty to 2 counts of battery family violence.
I have a choice, sir.
Well, yes, you do. You can, that's up to you, whether
Stay
you.
longer in jail? No, thank you. I'll plead guilty to both of them. Judicial system we have.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Nope.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with the representation? Is that a yes?
Yep.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yep.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty? I'll accept the plea as negotiated. I will allow him to have a one-time escort to return to the residence with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that he might have there when he completes the terms that are to a non-reporting status. Good luck to you, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position number 15, Phillips.
Right? 15.
15, got it.
This is gonna be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Phillip. I'm Judge Eric Moore. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Yes, Mr. Young.
Your Honor, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 30 days on each of the 3 counts. Credit for time served, 15 days with the balance suspended, and to comply with all MARTA suspensions. That's all from the state.
Yes, Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, that is a negotiated plea. Those are the terms we expected to hear. He asked the court to accept his negotiated plea of guilty while stipulating the factual basis, identification, and venue.
Mr. Phillip, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003282G, you wish to plead guilty to possession and use of drug-related objects, criminal trespass, and tampering with evidence. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Judge.
Represented by counsel, are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Judge. Yes, sir.
Understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Judge.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No, Judge.
Okay, I'll accept your plea as negotiated. Mr. McLean, does he know when those suspensions end?
We discussed that he would need to call MARTA, not show up in person with his physical presence, but to call MARTA and find out.
Okay, so make sure that you don't go back to MARTA, Mr. Phillip, unless you make sure that you're not still under suspension. Otherwise, they're gonna arrest you again, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Phillip.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next is position 10, Ms. Yolanda Isom.
And that's gonna be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Isom. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? You swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor, the state has modified its offer and we have spoken with counsel, so it will be a little bit different than it appears on the calendar. But the negotiated terms are 12 months to serve 40 days, credit for time served 20 days, balance probated with a BARC class, that's an animal cruelty course. We are going to forego the fine. In lieu of the fine, we will be asking for restitution in the amount of $3,474 to the victim, Miss Shanaza Doosan. And the victim is on the line, so if you could sound for her at the appropriate time.
Okay.
$3,474.
Yes, let's see. Is it Newsom? Mr. Walker?
Yes, Doosan, Duson.
Newsom, okay. Ms. Dewson, if you are on the line, and would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Unmute yourself, and I'll have to swear you in. Looks like Ms. Dewson. Ms. Dewson?
So sorry, Your Honor. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Yes, good morning, ma'am. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court, through the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. What would you like to tell the court, ma'am?
On June 6th, 2020, I was actually outside of my home at 403 James P. Brawley. I was proceeding to walk my dog for her nightly walk when all of a sudden I heard a dog running. Literally across the street, there was a blue pit bull that at one point in time was chained to a building. And somehow that pit bull broke loose, ran across the street. My dog was about 11 pounds. I could do nothing because the dog grabbed my dog by the neck and literally snatched her from our chain. At that time, everybody in my house came running out. We were trying to remove the pit bull from our dog and could not, finally to the point where my dog laid limp in the ground. I proceeded to call APD. I grabbed my dog and rushed her to Blue Vet veterinarian, where she had suffered 7 stitches in her brain. She had her skin from her neck had been detached from her body, had to have her whole face shaved, whole arm shaved, a lot of injuries to her. She actually succumbed to her. She has since succumbed to those injuries because she developed brain seizures as a result, and I ended up having to euthanize her after having her for 13 years. So there's nothing that can bring her back, respectfully, but if you've ever had a pet, to have a dog that I've had for 13 years, she was an emotional support baby. I suffer with anxiety, so that's what she served as. And she's dead now. And I've had to have her cremated. And the irresponsibility of that particular person, her only response was, well, my dog had to pee. She said some things other colorfully, but I will respect the court. But her response was, my dog had to pee. And I said, on my lawn, in my grass, with no leash. And that was that. And that's and APD ensued. And here we are now today.
I'm sorry for your loss, Ms. Dewson. I appreciate you being here this morning.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Douglas?
Thank you, Your Honor. We would ask the court to accept the negotiated offer. I was clear on the updated offer to Ms. Isom, and she did want to go forward with it. We do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of this plea. We would ask to waive all of Ms. Isom's probation fees, since this is a very large restitution amount she has agreed to pay, and she will need to do that in installments. She's currently on SSI, where she receives $600 a month. So she really is going to need family support once released, but she is clear that she needs to meet with probation and work out a payment plan to have this restitution taken care of.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that it's going to be a condition of probation to have no animals while on probation.
Okay.
And that was one of the original terms.
Right, she's clear on that.
1 second.
If nothing further, Ms. Isom, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 007431A, you wish to plead guilty to cruelty to animals, reckless conduct, dogs at large, and no Fulton County license tag. Is that correct?
Correct.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and if by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced? Has anyone forced or coerced to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Ms. Isom. I will waive 2 months of your probation fees to help you stay on your feet. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, my apologies for not bringing it up, but could she switch to non-reporting status upon completion of that class and payment of the restitution?
The objection, Mr. Walker?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, yes, you can go to non-reporting when she completes the terms.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
Position 1, Allen.
Good morning, Judge. I just want to let you know that the ASL interpreter is on the line, so I do not know where Mr. Stinson is at this time in the jail.
Mr. Stinson, he's in MOU. When I get finished with him, I drop down the MOU.
okay. So if you will just give us a moment, Madam Interpreter will be right with you. Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor,
Yes,
with regard to that, would it be possible for the state to call me on 2/23/92?
I have ASG Young reach out to you, Attorney McClain.
say it again, Mr. Walker.
I have ASG Young reach out to you, Attorney McClain.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
And let's see. And if it's Ms. Allen, that's on the court iPhone.
Yes.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Allen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. You agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you put your hand down. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Walker.
Yes, the state's recommendation is going to be 12 months to serve, 154 days, credit for time served, 77 days, balance probated, with the condition of a stay away from Lenox Mall located at 3393 Peachtree Road and 1 theft course.
Mr. Douglas.
Yes, Your Honor, that's our understanding of the offer and would ask this court to accept it. We do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of this plea. Ms. Allen does tell me that she does have employment waiting for her upon release, so we would just ask if she could switch to non-reporting status upon completion of the theft course, which she should be able to knock out quickly.
Okay. Let's see, Ms. Alex, my understanding that in case 22 CR 005950Y, you should be guilty to theft by shoplifting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. When you complete that course, the probation will go to a non-reporting status. So as soon as you get that done, as soon as you won't have to report to probation, okay? All right, good luck to you.
All right.
Position number 23, Youngblood.
And this is gonna be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Youngblood. I'm Judge Eric Mark. This is the state all. Yes, sir. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. We agree to have your case heard by video.
Yes.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Yes, Mr. Young.
Your Honor, the state's recommendation in this case is 12 months to serve, 38 days, credit for time served, 19 days, the balance probated, and anti-theft course, comply with all MARTA suspensions. And that's all for the state.
Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, that's correct. That's what we expected to hear. He asked the court to accept his negotiated plea of guilty, and he stipulates to the three necessary elements.
Mr. Youngblood, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003238, you wish to plead guilty to theft by taking and criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Anyone force you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Youngblood. When you complete the anti-theft course, your probation will go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get that done, so you don't have to report to probation, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Position number 22, Walker.
Your Honor, that's one where we need to chat with the state first. By chat, I mean not on chat, but on the phone.
I just sent a message to PD Doties with my phone number for you to call me, Mr. McLean.
Okay, I'll call that number. Thank you.
Add on position 1, Mr. Martin. Oh, you already did it. I'm sorry, I apologize. We already completed him. Position number 11, Junior.
I believe it's. Yes, this negotiated plea, Mr. Dotis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Junior. I'm Joe Garrett Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Your Honor, I believe my client has a question. If I could go on mute quickly.
Say it again, Mr. Dotis. He needs to talk to you.
Yeah, I think he had a question real quick. If I could go on mute.
When you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're ready to proceed.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Junior? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You have to speak up for me.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down. And we're doing this hearing by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yeah, totally understood.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendations will be 12 months to serve 10 days, credit for time served of 5 days, balance suspended with the stay away condition from 1280 West Peachtree, which is a condominium tower.
Yeah, he says they just.
Yes, Mr. Dotis.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's our understanding of the offer. We do stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the purpose of this plea.
Mr. Junior, it's my understanding that you wish, in case 17 CR 0209444C to plead guilty to criminal trespass and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Giovanni office.
Is that a no?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
No, he thinks for me.
I'll accept your plea as negotiated, Mr. Junior. Good luck to you, sir.
Yeah. Even though he's not, he's accused of it, it's not, you know what I think. Oh, by the way.
Mr. Gerber, he's on the probation calendar, positions 1 and 2.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Gerber. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, good morning, Officer Harris.
Good morning, Your Honor.
And we are on positions 1 and 2, Mr. Gerber.
Oh, shit. Let's see, here we go. Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Gerber was sentenced to probation on November 29th, 2022 to 12 months to complete a mental health evaluation. As of today, he has not reported to our office. He's also missed a prior revocation hearing with Judge Benson on May the 4th of this year. Mr. Gerbers has 6 months, 2 days remaining. Probation recommendation is to revoke.
Yes, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Your Honor. As we heard from probation, last November, Mr. Gebru pled guilty to one charge of criminal trespass. Mr. Gebru is homeless and he is struggling just to make it through each day, to make enough money to feed himself, to find a place to stay. He struggled with probation, and that he was more focused on his day-to-day survival. He's not a good candidate for probation. So at this point in time, we would just request the court to revoke his probation and give him time served for this. One of the violations, it says that he committed a new felony in February. That was again another criminal trespass. I've provided Mr. Gebru with a list of resources so that he can hopefully find the foundation he needs to get the help that he needs in a steady and stable place to stay and get back on his feet. So we would just ask this court to just give him time served and allow him the opportunity to get back on his feet and find footing in society.
How much time has he served, Mr. Davis?
He has, for the charge that he violated his probation on in November, he had a total of 84 days of jail time for this criminal trespass.
And he's, okay. I have an agreement with Mr. Davis. I think 84 days is sufficient for a criminal trespass charge. So I will revoke his probation and give him time served. Under the condition also, Mr. Davis, that you assist him in whatever way your social worker can with some housing and things of that nature, okay?
Thank you. I'll provide him with paperwork as well as our office number to follow up.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Gerber.
Petition number
Position-
12.
Mm.
Petition 12, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, and this is going to be a negotiated plea.
I'm sorry, what position are we on, Your Honor?
Petition 12, Ms. Linder, I believe.
Okay.
That's your case, Mr. Davis.
Yes, Your Honor, position 12.
And that's a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor, Ms. Malaysia Linder, that is a negotiated plea.
Good morning, Ms. Linder. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down, Ms. Linder. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Young.
Your Honor, the state's recommendation in this case is 12 months to serve 18 days, credit for time served, 9 days, the balance suspended. And that's all from the state.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask the court to accept Ms. Linder's negotiated plea. We do stipulate to the factual basis and Indian ID for the purpose of this plea.
Yes, Ms. Linder, it's my understanding that in plea 17 CR 012309J, you wish to plead guilty to driving without a valid license and no headlights, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and not by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Does anyone force you to plead guilty?
No,
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Linder. Good luck to you now.
thank you so much.
Where to now?
Position probation calendar 3 and 4. Positions 3 and 4, Mr. Hudson.
Good morning, Mr. Hudson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Officer Harris.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Hudson was sentenced to probation on November the 2nd, 2022 to complete a 24-week domestic violence classes and a drug and alcohol evaluation. As of today, Mr. Hudson has not reported to our office. He also committed a new offense of simple battery of May 15th of this year. His case has 5 months, 22 days. Probation recommendation is to revoke his probation.
Yes, Mr. Durdes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Regarding the new offense, my client made that was alleged to occurred on May 15th. My client maintains his innocence, and he says that he was not involved in that case. Mr. Hudson is residentially challenged, and when he resolved his case last year and went on probation, he wasn't familiar with state court probation and instead reported at 34 Peachtree Street for felony probation. He was not provided with, he was told that they didn't have any record of him, and he was not told that there was another office that was specifically for state court probation. He now has that information as well as a list of resources to help him get back on his feet, and he understands what is required of him and where to report if given another opportunity. He's also, he's really interested in joining Gateway, and if that could be a condition to a modified sentence, he would welcome that if he was required to report to Gateway. As he does want to get back on his feet, he welcomes any court mandated assistance with that. He's at the mercy of this court to give him another chance to meet his obligations, and we would ask for him to be reinstated.
He does not have enough time to do the domestic violence class. I do want him to do something, so I am inclined to restate him. But just let me say, Mr. Hudson, that if you miss one probation appointment, then I'm going to have Officer Harris bring you back, and I'm going to accept the recommendation to revoke next time. So I'm going to give you the opportunity. Okay, but you're going to have to make sure that that you report as you need to report. I'm going to switch to domestic violence, since he doesn't have enough time to do that, to a 12-week anger management program. I'm going to also require that he do the ADET, and that he report to Gateway as housing. I want him to start the 8-week anger management in the next 2 weeks and provide proof to Officer Harris, and also to begin the ADET within the next 2 weeks and provide proof. If he doesn't, Harris, if he does not provide proof in the next 2 weeks, or if he does not report as he is scheduled to, then I'll bring him back and I will reflect the remainder of his balance at that time. So I'm going to give you the opportunity.
I can do all.
Okay. You have to follow through, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank
you. All right, good luck to you, sir.
Position 16, Mr. Scott.
And this is going to be a negotiated plea.
See on the video? Okay. Your Honor, he's on court iPhone. I represent him. This is a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Scott. I'm Judge Eric Moore. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, Mr. Scott?
Yes, sir.
And we're doing it by video. Is that okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me?
Raise your hand.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Did you hear me?
Yes,
Got to speak up.
yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Mr. Young?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's recommendation in this case is 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, with the balance probated, a family violence intervention program, no further contact with the victim, Ms. Reese, stay away from 493 Boulevard Northeast, apartment 401. And give me just a moment to check restitution. There will be no restitution in this case. We have not been able to make contact with the victim.
Okay.
And was that apartment 101 or 401? Or it could just stay away from the whole building?
Just stay away from the whole building for
That's fine.
clarification.
Yes, Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, he asked the court to accept his negotiated plea of guilty. He stipulates the venue, identification, and factual basis.
Mr. Scott, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003284D, you wish to plead guilty to battery, family violence, and criminal trespass and damage to property. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No,
Are
sir.
you represented by counsel? Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Anyone force you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Good luck to you, Mr. Scott.
Thank you.
We have the add-on position number 2, Stetson, the ASO.
Okay, and we need a breakout room.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And how are you gonna do that, Mr. McCown? Are you gonna use Mr. Dodo's?
That would work.
Okay. So, Ms. Lawson, are you with us?
I can't hear.
Madam Interpreter, are you with us? Yes, okay. So let's put,
Yes, sir, I'm here, sorry.
no, we can't go to that. Let's put Ms. Lawson, 3 South, and Mr. Dobez's laptop, I guess, into a breakout room.
Judge Morrow, the last 2 cases that I have left, they're for McLean, so he's gonna be doing his breakout.
Walker, yeah, Walker.
Oh, okay. So, I guess we will be in recess until Mr. McLean comes back. And, the other probation case, Edward Rhodes, is that also claims?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Douglas.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any other bench warrant, DV cases this today?
I have Mr. Elam and Mr. Faust. I believe Attorney McLean is handling Mr. Leftwich. I'm not sure.
Would you mind giving them a call to see if they can join us early so that we might be able to take care of them? While we're waiting?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll hop on the phone right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Dotis, you have your client on the line for your DD case.
Yes, I see Mr. Faust. I just spoke with him. If he's ready to go, we are.
Let's see, Mr. Walker, are you with us?
Outside here, Your Honor.
Thank you. And let's see, Mr. Faust, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Judge Eric, this is the DV bench warrant calendar. Mr. Walker, I take it that Mr. Faust missed the court date.
Yes, he was out on a $3,000 surety bond on September the 8th of 2022. He missed the court date with Judge Roth.
Let's see, Mr. Dotis.
Thank you, Your Honor. I spoke with Mr. Faust about his situation yesterday, and while I wasn't able to get a proof of incarceration, he was in custody in Upton County and then switched to Spalding County until May 22nd of this year. Upon his release, he immediately went to the court to see what was going on with this case, and he learned that he did have a failure to appear in a bench warrant, which is why we are here today. He did provide the court with updated contact information, which is a good address and phone number to reach Mr. Faust in the future. He is clear that he needs to check his mail and check in with the court to ensure that he's not missing any other dates in the future. I don't believe there's any other history of FTA, so we would just ask this to be set aside so that Mr. Faust is clear on what he needs to do to make it to every appearance.
And the only thing I will say, Your Honor, I believe that his bond has actually been surrendered by the bonding company. But I'll let Ms. Lewis confirm, because I see that there was a bond forfeiture judgment calendar February of this year. It says judgment entered. So just want to make the court aware of that. I think he no longer even has a bond.
Okay, Mr. Dotis, so just so we have it in Mr. Faust's record, if you would follow up on that incarceration and just provide the paperwork to the court so that that's documented that he missed because he was incarcerated at the time. Do I need to, if he doesn't have a bond, I'll give him a $3,000 signature bond through the jail with the same conditions as was on the original bond. Ms. Lewis?
That is correct. Mr. Walker is correct. Judgment was entered against Jet Bonding Company, and so he doesn't need a bond.
So I guess that's what I need to do is just have the give him a signature bond through the jail. Okay.
And can they also clarify his address to make sure it's correct in the system?
And I will put his address in the chat.
Thank you. Make sure if there's any apartment numbers included, please make sure they're noted.
Mr. Faust, is there an apartment number for this address or is it a house?
No, sir, it's a house.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so Mr. Faust, I'm going to give you the opportunity to come back and address these charges at another time. If you miss another court date, the bonds won't be set aside the next time. Okay, so make sure that you continue to check with the court to make sure that you don't miss any dates. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Mr. Faust, my apologies, Your Honor. Just to clarify, is the street number 10789?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right. You have a good day, Mr. Faust.
Okay, thank you.
Way that everybody can stop and press stop. That's all we know.
Mike.
This is a magistrate court. It's about to start.
So what, we're resetting him?
Yes, it's good. Well, no, arraignment's not guilty.
This is probation 5 and 6, Mr. Rhodes.
Okay, what are we gonna do with Mr. Stinson?
Mr. Stinson is going to plead guilty, Your Honor. I believe it is a negotiated plea. I just need to refresh. I need to refresh a look at the offer, which I've asked to come through chat, or it could come perhaps to.
I already sent it, your Attorney McLean.
Very good. We'll check on chat. I just got back in the room. I'll click on that button and look at it. I believe we have a negotiated plea ready.
Okay. So, good morning, Mr. Rhodes. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Officer Harris.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Edwards was sentenced to probation on June 21st, 2021 to 48 months. He was to complete 8 weeks of anger management, and he's never reported to our office. He did commit a new offense on April 2nd, 2022 of theft by shoplifting. He has 42 days remaining on his case. Probation recommendation is to revoke those 42 days.
Mr. McLean.
Your Honor, mathematically, it's certainly a stark situation to be here with only 42 days left out of the 48 months. He says he's been struggling for years with his addiction. He's been trying. He has sought the resources of many places, including PAD. I called PAD. Their voicemail is full right now. I was hoping I could get them on Zoom to confirm everything. But from what he told me and from my familiarity with PAD, everything he said to me made sense, that he's just been trying, occasionally failing, but this probation is not something he succeeded in. He admits that. He asked the court to consider the idea that 42 days more in jail is not truly going to make a point that is worth spending the expense on, but he is going to keep on going to PAD. He's going to keep on going to shelters and asking for help, and he's going to get help he's determined to. And that's basically, he's completely flinging himself, Your Honor, on the mercy of the court.
I'm sorry, I have, my calendar has, one says Edward L. Rhodes, one says Edward Rhodes. What's the young man's name?
There is a misspelling, isn't there? Is it Edward or Edwards?
It's Edward, E-D-W-A-R-D.
There is no S on it. What's your middle name?
My middle name is Lee.
L-E-E?
Yes.
Okay.
And the last name is Rhodes?
Yes, sir. R-H-O-D-E-S.
Okay, Mr. Rhodes, I want you to get this behind you, so you don't have to continue to deal with this, so that you can deal with the other things that are that you have going on. So I am going to revoke the 42 days. It's still my understanding that you'll get 2 for 1, and so you'll be once you complete that time, you'll be done with this. Okay.
Judge,
Only thing I like to say is, when I was picked up on this probation revocation right here, this probation violation, I was already at Victory Outreach through PAD. But so all of these setbacks, because the reason I wasn't never able to come and see you is because the programs that I was in, I couldn't leave the property. The director of the program is supposed to have been handling my cases, which never got handled. So now I'm trying to handle it and speak for myself. So I'm asking you, can you terminate the probation for 42 days or whatever it is, and let me go back to Victory Outreach? I'm 41 years old. I've been going through this because I really have nobody to really represent me. And the people that I rely on, the court send me to, is misrepresenting me. That's all it is. It's a misunderstanding.
I appreciate that, Mr. Rhodes. So let me see, Mr. McLean, if you can find him someplace that he can go to once he is released, you were mentioning one, he's mentioned another. If you get me somewhere that he can go that will accept him, whether it's PAD or whether it's somewhere else, then I will, I'll make that consideration. But I want to make sure that he's going somewhere before I release him, okay?
Your Honor, I had suggested to him that he give me a couple of days reset. So if we put it off till Thursday, which is day after tomorrow, I should be able to find out whether Victory Outreach has a place for him.
Okay, so why don't we do that? So Mr. Rhodes, I will be on that Thursday calendar, and you'll come back before me. If we can find a place for your placement, then I'll consider that as opposed to just revoking the probation. Okay, so let's just hold off on Officer Harris until Thursday. Okay.
I'll see you in 47 hours.
All right, I'll see you back on Thursday, Mr. Rhodes.
I'll come and see you in the jail tomorrow.
That concludes my business, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good rest of your day. See you next time. Thank you.
I'm going to check that chat now, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me know.
Please reset to Thursday.
This guy's reset?
Mr. Rhodes, yeah.
No. That's not Mr. Rhodes. I'm talking about Mr. Walker.
No, we haven't handled Walker yet. We'll get to that in just a second.
Okay, if you gonna keep acting like this, I'm gonna reset you myself.
That's right.
We need to go ahead and take whoever that is.
Yeah, come over here and have a seat, Walker.
Mr. Walker had a counter offer. We did not reach an agreement. So this is a not guilty, and we simply are going to waive the formal reading of the accusation. Ask the court to remind him to look out for his mail, or if he's here in jail, to be aware that his court date will come up.
Mr. McLean, do you just want to file a waiver in the matter, or do you want me to arraign it?
We'll be glad to do that, Your Honor, with this permission. Mr. Walker, do I have your permission to file a waiver of the arraignment where the judge does not have to tell you everything, or do you want to talk to the court about having a future court date?
Michael claimed just at least one day.
I don't like that.
He's talking to you, Walker.
Man, I work too hard for no justice, man. Y'all got all these programs for people that, come on, man, I can't get no help. I better, come on, man, this don't make no sense, man. I work.
A lot of these people do just want help, and maybe jail is not the place for them.
Right, yeah.
The last guy spoke really well, trying to represent him, to plead his case.
So what are we gonna do with him? Mr.
Your Honor, I will waive the formal reading of the accusations And Mr. Walker does not want to waive his presence. He wishes to have an arraignment.
Okay. Does he want to come sit beside you?
Yes, I believe he does. Thank you.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Walker. I'm Judge Eric Maurer. This is the state court all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down, Mr. Walker. You've been charged in case 23 CR 003259F with hit and run, improper erratic lane change, expired or no license plate or decal, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and driving under the influence of drugs. Each of these charges carries a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. It's my understanding, Mr. McLean, that you waived formal reading of the accusation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, we've gone over each page of each accusation.
How do you plead, Mr. Walker? Guilty or not? Say it again.
Not guilty.
Okay, we'll record your not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. Good luck to you, Mr. Walker.
When? I can't hear you, sir.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
You say your next court day will be when, sir?
No. I don't know when your next court date is. The case is going to be returned to a division judge and they'll send you a notification of when that next court date will be. Okay. All right.
Come on, Rose.
Okay. Yes.
Are you done?
Yes, we're done with Mr. Walker.
Are we ready for Mr. Stinson? Are we on 3 South?
I believe that Mr. McLean is still preparing something.
Thank you, Hunter. I believe we have completed Mr. Giovanni Walker's matter and Mr. Rhodes' matter. I think we're ready for Mr. Stinson.
Okay, and this is going to be a guilty plea today?
It is, Your Honor. It's a negotiated plea of guilty.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Stinson. I'm Judge Eric Maurer. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
This is the interpreter speaking. Hold on. I don't say Mr. Stinson.
He's at 3 South, right?
Oh, here, I see him now. I got him now. Okay. I'm ready. Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
Okay. If you could raise your right hand for me, Mr. Stinson. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth?
He says you can't see me.
You can't see?
Okay, raise your right hand. Okay, go ahead, Your Honor.
You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
He can't see the sign language interpreter. The screens keep jumping. Every time someone speaks, it'll show that picture. It won't show the anybody else. That's how it's set up here.
I don't know if you click on view.
You may have to go in the breakout room, Judge, and have all of y'all so he can see y'all all together.
That's fine.
Okay, so why don't we do that? So courtroom 2, 3 South, Madam Interpreter, Mr. Walker, and myself.
Well, the interpreter couldn't,
Okay. Let's see, courtroom 2.
We're not muted.
So I think is the only one left, 21, is that gonna have to be reset, given that he is, in federal custody?
Yes, Your Honor, let's reset it a far piece out because we still haven't heard. Last communication I had with the defender of that federal district was that sentencing, they thought they had a sentencing hearing right about June 5th or 6th. So it's right about now. So we may hear some different info in a couple of days as to what has happened.
So when do you want me to reset it until, Mr. Frank?
Oh, I would say a month out, Your Honor.
Okay, so if we can set him, I'm not sure when a month will be, but.
That will be July the 3rd, no, excuse me, July the 11th.
Okay, July 11th. Okay.
Okay.
I believe that completes the state all-purpose calendar. I'll have Ms. Strong go over that calendar. And then we'll see if anyone else shows up for the bench warrant.
We do have, Mr. Motrell Emma, he's on the line for the DB calendar. He's underneath Coach Trail.
Okay, so I want to go over the calendar first so that those that don't have to stay can be excused.
Position number 1 was a negotiated plea. Position number 2 was reset jail jury. Position number 3, the warrant was set aside. Position number 4 was reset jail jury. Position number 5, reset jail jury. Position number 6 and 7 were reset to send back to the division judge. Position number 8 was a negotiated plea. Position number 9 was a null cross. Position number 10, 11, 12, and 13 were negotiated pleas. Position number 14 was a null cross. Position number 15, position number 16, position number 17, position number 18 were all negotiated pleas. Position number 19 was a null cross. Position number 20 was arraigned, reset jail jury. Position number 21 was reset for July the 11th SAP calendar. Position number 22 was arraigned, reset jail jury. Position number 23 was a negotiated plea. On the add-on calendar, position number 1 was a negotiated plea, and position number 2 was a negotiated plea.
I'm sorry, can you say position 23 one more time?
It was a
Thank
it
you.
was a negotiated plea.
Okay.
Okay, if there are no questions on that, let's go to Mr. Motrell Alum. Good morning, Mr. Alum. This is the DB bench warrant calendar. Mr. Walker, I take it that Mr. Alum missed court dates.
Yes, Mr. Alarm is currently on a $3,000 pre-trial bond. He did miss a court date with Judge Besson on May 2nd of this year.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke with Mr. Elam a few minutes before this hearing. He indicated that he is currently in the process of obtaining private counsel. So I believe he's going to request a 1-week reset to confirm that he's able to have private counsel because his choice, I think, could not make today's court date. If Mr. Elam has anything further to say, as I believe he wanted to address his case.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to learn how to use. Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Lum. Let me first say that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. Mr. Dodd, I understand that you might be obtaining private counsel. You do have a warrant out for you. We have provided you with the assistance of Mr. Dodas. If you would like to utilize that this morning to address this, if you want to obtain private counsel, I'm happy to give you that opportunity, but just know that you'll have a bench warrant out for you until it's set aside. So what would you like to do this morning?
Can I speak to the prosecutor?
I'm happy to give you that opportunity. Do you want to speak to him in regards to what the offer is in the matter?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll just put that on the record then. Mr. Walker, do you have an offer?
Yes. 1 second. So right now it's 12 months to serve 30 days. I believe the defendant has served 2 days. So he will get credit for those 2 days, balance probated with the conditions of an FFIP course and no further contact with the victim.
Can you say that? Can you say that one more time?
12 months to serve 30 days. credit for the time that you previously served, which is 2 days, balance probated with the condition of a FVIP or a family violence intervention program, and no further contact with the victim in the case.
And that's after I already did anger management, all the requirements, all of that stuff.
That's the current offer. That is correct.
Okay, yeah, I definitely will. I'm definitely gonna get the lawyer involved. Yeah, I'm gonna hire private. I'm gonna hire a lawyer.
Okay, so the only thing that we're hearing on today, Mr. Alam, would be this bench warrant that is currently out for, that is active. My question to you was, do you want to put this off until you have hired a lawyer, knowing that you have a bench warrant out for you, and that you could be picked up and put in jail? Or would you like Mr. Dodes to assist you with this matter today?
Okay.
Let
Let's.
me just say this, Mr. Alam. I don't know why you wouldn't have Mr. Dodes. If I had a bench warrant out for me, knowing that I could get picked up and taken to jail at any time, I would want someone to assist me to maybe, get that bench warrant set aside if possible. But
Oh yeah, yes. Your Honor, I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm not trying
no, I
to
know
be.
you're not. I'm just trying to make you understand.
I appreciate your sincerity. I thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go ahead and we can do that.
Okay. Now, Mr. Dodes, thank you. Have you already spoken with Mr. Alam, or would you need to speak with him regarding this matter?
I spoke with Mr. Alam, and I was also prepared going in today on his case, so I'm ready to address his.
Okay, so go ahead, Mr. Dodes. Thank you.
Is Mr. Walker going, or would you like me to go first?
Oh yeah, he's
No.
out on a pre-trial bond. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Mr. Walker's already gone.
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor.
That's all right. He missed a date with Judge Besson on May 2nd.
Correct. I spoke with Mr. Alam, and it looks like he had a bad address in the system. He did update that address after there was a return to sender at the old address on May 26th. On May 30th, when he reported and learned about the bench warrant, he did update his address, which is, I'm making sure it's currently set as his correspondence address. I have confirmed that address with Mr. Alam. So going forward, I don't think that there will be any issues. I don't see a history of FTA, so we would just ask this to be set aside.
Okay, and Mr. Alam, is this court's procedure that I will allow us to set a bench warrant to be set aside on one occasion when someone misses a court date? So I'm going to do the same that I did for everyone for you. So I'm going to set this bench warrant aside. But if you miss another court date, it won't be set aside the next time. Okay, so you have to make sure that if you move, that you have an active, that you keep the court apprised of where you move to, and you should also just keep in touch with the court to make sure that you are not missing any dates. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, so this one will be set aside. Good luck to you, Mr.
Can
Alam.
you please verify his address before he leaves?
Yes, Your Honor. And Mr. Alam, I'm gonna message you in the chat just so I can verify what we discussed to make sure that this is your correct address.
Let me see. I didn't receive anything.
I just sent it to you right now. Is that the correct address? I don't want you to say it, but is that the correct address?
Yes, sir. But yes, that's the correct address.
Is that a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Okay. And I have the city and the zip code that I'm gonna send to Ms. Lewis, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Alam. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Is Mr. McLean there? Mr. McLean, would you see if your client, you're representing Ms. Which, is that right?
Who's that? We have not been in contact, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, so you've not spoken with her?
Correct.
Do you have a number for her?
I will try one, Your Honor. I believe Odyssey's got something for us.
Okay. If you'll do that for me, I'd appreciate it. I believe that we have concluded for the day, aside from Ms. Leftwich. So I will give her until 11 or a little after to join us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're gonna try to call now.
Okay, thank you.
Can you ask Mr. Douglas and Mr. McClain to send the paperwork to me? Ms. Lewis is not the clerk today.
Okay, did y'all hear that?
Yeah, Ms. Lewis, you won't have to chase us down. We'll get it to you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll be in recess until either 11 o'clock or Ms. Leftwich comes on the line.
I was asking if Mr. McClain had a telephone, because this is the information that she put, he said on his computer.
Okay. Did she have an, oh,
But I can't access Zoom, so I can't put it.
okay. I'll ask her. Mr. McLean, were you able to raise her?
Your Honor, yes. I told her in advance that her situation was one. She promised me that she had never, ever, anywhere before missed court. So I predicted to her what the court would be lecturing her about.
Excuse me, Judge, I got her on the line now. Apparently the email that she received is not a good email. I'm emailing her the link right now as we speak. I have her on the phone now. Just give me
Okay.
a second. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll be,
I gave her a little talking to myself about how to not ever miss court again.
okay.
I used to be the softball commissioner for the Atlanta Bar. I'm not on mute. Oh, okay.
Mr. McLean,
Your Honor, yes.
Ms. Strong says instead of laying back in that chair, you need to be working on your paperwork.
I love it. I've got most of it done, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
I was telling Mr. Dotis about the first time I heard the word bye, as in when you're setting up a tournament schedule, who gets the bye?
Okay.
Judge, she's coming up fine now.
Okay, thank you. Yes, good morning, Ms. Lethbridge. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the DV bench warrant calendar.
Hi.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us a little bit early. Let's see, Mr. Walker, it's my understanding that Ms. Lethbridge must have missed a court date.
Yes, Ms. Lethbridge is out on a $3,000 surety bond. She had a court date on April the 11th of this year with Judge Taylor, that she FTA'd on.
Yes.
She tells me she's never, ever, anywhere missed a court date before. Apparently, she appeared in person in the courtroom several times. The last court session that she attended was by Zoom. And then, of course, this one she missed. She missed it because she was admittedly negligent in not changing her address when she moved. And she has since done that on May 30th. Her correct address is now showing in Odyssey.
Okay, and do we have that? So you've already seen the correct address in Odyssey, is that right, Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor, that thing that starts with the numerals 430, that is correct. And it,
okay.
Although it
430 or 403, Mr. McLean?
403?
I have 403. You just said 430.
Right, I'm just going by memory from a minute ago and I'm messing up, but it's 403 then.
Okay. Ms. Lethbridge, it's my policy that I will set aside a bench warrant on one occasion. So I encourage you. So I'm going to set this one aside. But if you miss another court date, the bench warrant will not be set aside the next time. So make sure that you keep the address if you move up to date, or keep in touch with the court to make sure that there are no upcoming court dates. Okay.
Judge, I definitely will. I really appreciate it.
Okay, you're more than welcome. You have a good rest of your day, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, and let me
Okay,
ask,
thank you.
Ms. Lethbridge, did you see the phone number from which I called you here?
Yes, sir, I do.
Dial me back in about 5 minutes and I'll explain more.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
With that, I think that concludes the morning calendars. If there's nothing further, thank you all. I'll see you on Thursday.
Bye, everybody.
Judge, do you want to break down your paperwork for Thursday so you don't have to print it out?
Thank you.
If you can bring it down in the next 2 minutes.
Oh, man, I ain't gonna make it in 2 minutes.
Thank you though, Ms. Lewis. I appreciate it.
So you gonna wait for me or no?
Ms. Strong says no.